All right, guys. Opening bout here for PFL Chicago. We've got Nate Jennerman taking on Valanti Atsas. Valanti Atsas is actually fighting out of Chicago. He's trained there for a few years now, regional scene guy, and he's mostly a grappler. He's a guy that's going to get in your face. He's going to look to take the fight to the ground. He has good scrambles, and I think realistically on this, pretty much this PFL fight card that they've put these two guys together so that they will both engage in the grappling, as that's both guys' main skill set. Obviously, Nate Jennerman is a guy that you might remember fighting on the Ultimate Fighter on Team McGregor. He did have a stint in the PFL previously. He did have that fight where he won by third round rear naked choke, but we saw most of his striking, and I think that's always been his weakness. But he tries to stay technical on the feet, but he lacks a lot of head movement. So if Atsas here does come in and throw something wild, there is a chance that he might be able to stop Jennerman on the feet. But I'm going to say if Jennerman does decide to take this one to the ground, he should be the better grappler. I watched some tape on Atsas for the regional scene, and one of the fights that he did manage to win by split decision. The commentary team was talking a lot about how his opponent was a very good Muay Thai striker. Well, that Muay Thai striker was able to take him down, reverse position at times, and ultimately show that Atsas isn't actually as good a grappler, in my opinion, as probably his submission victories would prove, another tape study would prove. And I think that Jennerman here is the much better grappler if the fight does hit the mat. I think he's the better wrestler. I think he'll be able to take this fight to the mat whenever he wants to. It just depends on if Jennerman wants to stand here and get a knockout. If you saw in his PFL fight where he was able to get that third round rear naked choke, he decided to stand and trade on the feet. I'd like to see Jennerman come in here, mix in the grappling early, use his experience, use the fact that he's fought the much tougher level competition, get this fight to the ground where he should be the better fighter and ultimately look for a submission or ground and pound victory. Valanti on the feet, he's not necessarily the most technical, but he does throw wild and he will crash the pocket, and it only takes one really to put out Jennerman, as his head does not move off that center line. So the pick's going to be Nate Jennerman, but not with a greater deal of confidence, because of the fact that I can't rely on him to come in and use his best skill set against a guy that realistically is not as high level on the ground as Jennerman. So I'd like to see him come in here, get the takedowns, use his grappling. You know, maybe just move your head a little bit, Jennerman, for me, and you might be all good. But give me Nate Jennerman here to get this one done on the early prelim opener of PFL Chicago.